recording this. Whom are we missing? Lucy.
Hello,
Lucy.
Lucy.
I was just talking to Danica about her paper. Lucy popped up on the screen, but then she disappeared. Who else?
Lucy, Chloe.
It's your fault.
Oh, what's
Not
up,
Chloe. Chloe's here.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. How could I ever miss your beauty? I'm so sorry. I'm Lily, Natalie, Nick.
Anyway. So
Yeah, no, Nick should be here.
Natalie can't make it. Natalie's Wi-Fi up in Ophir apparently is not working. I already talked to her today.
That's a lie.
You think it's a lie? I don't know.
Greg, are you outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, duh. Yeah, looks good. But,
I can't see much.
did you want to share anything, Gregor, or not?
Share anything? Oh, no.
No, okay.
I'm not sharing anything.
No,
Oh, Lavender, I had a question.
Yes.
How do we submit our rewrites of our essays?
Best way to do it, I mean, you can do it whatever way works best for you. What works best for me, because I like to print them out anyway, is just if you can attach it to an email.
Okay.
That's generally the easiest. You can send it.
Alrighty.
Like that. But anyways, and Josh, also, I found the, for those of you who are still working on the papers, we've met individually and we've talked about different speeches and stuff that you might want to use. I found a link to the, let me get this going here.
Nick is coming. He just woke up.
Who's coming? Nick?
I called him. Yeah, I just woke him up.
Nick's still in bed, probably. Anyway, I found a link to an Angels America PDF. So if you're looking for some of the quotes I mentioned to you and stuff, it's actually a copy of the same book that that we use. So it's pretty good. But anyway, here's what I want to do today. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this or not. Whoops, that's not what I want. Hang on. Just a sec. Stop share. There we go. There it is.
You put it somewhere.
Guillermo, what are you guys doing?
Jesse, you brought Daisy.
We are just chilling.
Chilling like villains, huh? Okay.
Vibing.
Working.
Not working. We don't do that around here.
We do a lot of that around here.
Good. So here's what I want to do today. We're only going to be together like this for another 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. I don't know, again, what the AP is going to do. We won't know till the 3rd. This 45-minute, this 45-minute exam. I told one of my colleagues, I'm really worried. I think it was Boykin.
Are they all going to be multiple choice questions? Like the
No. Hey, Nick. There's not going to be any. Nick, if you're in bed, you can leave your camera off.
I am.
No, actually, Christian, there's not going to be any multiple choice, which is actually that's actually good news for us because even though the multiple choice is easier on the AP Lang, you guys write well. So the problem is this is ordinarily a 3-hour and 15-minute exam. You've got 3 very different prompts. You've got the synthesis essay, you've got the argumentative essay, which we're going to look at here in a second, and you've got the rhetorical analysis. And they also said in that alert, which you guys may or may not have read, that they're going to, if you scroll down to English Lang, they're only going to, I think we went over this, they're only testing you on units 1 through 7 of their published curriculum, which is kind of BS. The curriculum, not the fact they published it. But I'm kind of worried. First of all, I don't know which of the 3 essays they would choose. The synthesis essay is actually 55 minutes because you've got a 15-minute reading period and 40 minutes.
So they're only going to have us do 1?
Hey, Caroline. Well, I don't know. Here's what hey, Caroline, how you doing? Here's what I'm worried about is that they might ask you to write, and how bullshit would this be? Sorry about the language. I shouldn't be recording this. They might ask you to write 3 opening paragraphs. Spend 15 minutes on each. I don't know that that's what they're going to do at all. I have no clue. But I suspect it might be something like that. I mean, wouldn't that make sense? Although I don't know how they could possibly assess you. I don't know how they can assess you on a single essay written in 45 minutes. I don't know how they could assess you on 3 essay openings written in 15 minutes each. But so what we're going to do for the rest of the, today and then on Thursday, Thursday, is this. I want to first look at the argumentative essay. This is question 3. Can you guys all see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we'll be considering the following prompt, question 3. Who knows will actually be asked. Here's the steps we're going to be following. I want to talk about this a little bit with you, and then I'm going to move you guys into breakout rooms. Have we done that yet? Breakout rooms? Probably not.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, what it is, it's actually really nice. I've been using it with my other classes. You'll just be randomly assigned to like 3 or 4 other people, and you guys will have a small group discussion, so it won't be, 18 little pictures on the screen. It'll just be 2 or 3. So you go into breakout rooms in which small groups can discuss the prompt amongst themselves. Once you've exhausted the possibilities of the prompt, you can leave your breakout room and spend the rest of this block period writing a paragraph. I want each of you to just work on a really elegant opening paragraph, one in which you introduce the idea of disobedience. We'll get to the prompt in a second. Weigh in on Wilde's views. And then in a clear thesis statement, advance your own opinion relative to whether or not disobedience is a valuable human trait. After you compose the paragraph, I want you to list 3 apt and specific examples that you think you might be able to use to develop and defend your argument. You don't have to write a full essay. For the time being today, I'm just looking for an opening paragraph. Also, Natalie asked me what apt meant, which is a great question. Do you know what apt means?
Means
Yeah.
well suited.
Well suited is short for appropriate. It's a shortened form of appropriate. Thanks, Josh. Mr. Knowledgeable.
What happened to the audio?
Are you guys not hearing me?
You just
A little choppy.
yeah.
I'm
There was a
sorry,
few
that's-
seconds where you went out.
I'm sorry, that's probably, as Caroline can attest, our internet's not bad up here, but it's not great. I haven't even seen Carolyn, and she lives like a few hundred feet away. But anyway.
Yeah.
So after refining your opening paragraph and listing the supporting examples, go ahead. This is what I want you to do for the balance of this period, is post this all on a discussion blog on the Schoology page. And it'd be great if you read and commented on other paragraphs, although that's not required. If you look here, I've got this, you remember how these discussion blogs work, you just open it up. Go ahead and compose your paragraph first, and then either type it in or cut and paste it into a discussion blog. And then what we'll do on Thursday is we'll look at the scoring rubric, and we'll look at some scored essays that were written in response to this prompt. Here's the prompt. And I hope you guys, when you get in the breakout rooms, maybe one of you can hit share screen and pull the prompt up.
Can we submit this at like 11:59?
You can submit it whenever you want, Christian. God.
Oh, today, so I was just asking.
You could, no, Christian, that's okay, good question. You could submit it tomorrow.
Okay.
You could submit it Thursday morning. I'm not going to look at, no, do it tomorrow, because I'll probably look at these tomorrow night in preparation. But Thursday, we'll be looking at your paragraphs, and again, we'll be looking at scored essays. But here's the prompt, okay? In 1891, Irish author Oscar Wilde, 1854 to 1900, observed, quote, disobedience in the eyes of anyone who has read history is man's original virtue. It is through disobedience that progress has been made, through disobedience and through rebellion. In the prompt, and this is often what they'll do, they'll throw out a little quote there, and I'll ask you to weigh in on whether you agree or disagree. Wilde claims that disobedience is a valuable human trait and that it promotes social progress. Write an essay that argues your position on the extent, that's key, to which Wilde's claims are valid. Use appropriate examples from your reading, experience, or observation to support your argument. So, what do we think? Disobedience, man's original virtue. What's the reference to original virtue? Where's Nick? Nick, you here? Nick, you were in Biblit, right?
Yes. I was just muted.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No, do you remember from Biblit or Josh? What's original disobedience?
Wasn't in Biblit.
Lydia was in Biblet.
Oh, it was your
Lydia
brother.
has always been in Biblet.
Oh, Linnea. Sorry, I forgot
Oh
about
my
Linnea.
god.
Linnea, what's the original disobedience?
Adam and Eve. The
Right,
Fig.
Eve. It wasn't Adam and Eve. It was Eve first.
Yeah.
Eating the fruit of the truth and all. Okay. So one of the things you guys have to think about is, I mean, part of the problem is Oscar Wilde. Do you remember some of the Oscar Wilde quotes we saw back when we were doing rhetorical devices? The guy who wrote, the elegance of eloquence, kept citing. Here are, for me, it's hard because I think of Oscar Wilde and I think of someone who's never serious, who's always flip, who's always saying provocative things. This is a guy who had in his play The Importance of Being Earnest. Had one character say to another, "Do you smoke?" And the guy said, "Yes." And the other character says, "Well, good. I think every man should have an occupation." Which is, here I just put these up. Here's a sampling of Oscar Wilde's aphorisms, which again, is he being serious about disobedience or not? Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. Or, education is an admirable thing, but it's well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. Experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes. He's known for this kind of stuff. The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself. So again, he's kind of being flip, he's being sarcastic. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all, which is kind of like the quote that you guys are being asked to weigh in on. True friends stab you in the front. I kind of like that one. I have the simplest tastes. I'm always satisfied with the best. Yeah. Man is least himself when he talks to his own person, talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he will tell you the truth. And finally, the only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. I can resist everything but temptation. So let me hang on, get rid of this a sec. Minimize you guys. Whoops, oh, can't. Okay. I may have lost the. And Lucy, you're here. Good. And Lily. Hi, Lily. I didn't see you there. Sorry. So anyway, let's share this again. So what you guys, I'm going to break you into rooms here in a bit. You want to consider definitions. One of the first things you're going to do probably in your opening is define disobedience in your own terms. Is disobedience being a rebel, being a revolutionary? He actually mentions through rebellion. Is it somebody who goes against the perceived knowledge in science? Is it kind of an Einstein who thinks outside the box? Or is disobedience just being a punk? Is disobedience, being a spring breaker who refuses to do social distancing in Florida and just wants to get drunk and party on the beach? So one of the first things when you get a prompt like this, generally speaking, if this were an essay you were writing for class, I would want you guys to embrace complexity and nuance and have, realize that, hey, in some cases, disobedience makes sense. In other cases, it's problematic. For the purposes of the AP exam, again, who knows what it's going to look like, it's probably better to come down firmly for or against. Although some people feel that, disobedience can lead to, iconoclastic and progressive thinking, in fact, if nobody obeyed the rules, society would be on anarchy or something. So you want some sort of thesis statement that, comes out pretty strongly in support of the idea that disobedience is a human virtue, or slams the idea that disobedience is a human virtue. So let me get out of this. So any questions, any comments? Lucy has such a strange picture of you. It's pretty funny though.
It was taken recently.
What's that?
How do you gotta figure that out?
What?
How do you do that?
What do you mean? How do I do that?
She it's her profile photo. She just turned off her camera.
Yeah. So
Greg, can I see that poster?
What poster?
Behind you. He's got turtles behind him.
Who?
He's got a whole Steve.
Oh, you went inside. It was too bright outside.
No,
Nice
my computer
Wow.
just died.
Oh, okay. Nice to it. Anyway, so Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to randomly assign you guys to breakout rooms. My expectation is that you'll spend at least 5 or 10 minutes hanging or longer hanging out with each other. Hopefully you'll spend a little time talking about this prompt and how you respond to it, and especially what kind of examples in the body of your essay could you use to develop your argument that disobedience is or is not a human virtue. And then again, so we won't get back together like this as a group. If you want to come back, I'll leave this open. When you leave, so when I do breakout rooms here in a second, you're going to get invited to a room. Just follow the link. And when you leave that breakout room, you'll pop back up on this screen again and then have to leave. So before I set these up, any questions, concerns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What do you want? You want bigger rooms or smaller rooms? Probably smaller rooms. I'm going to set up 4 rooms here.
I do not care.
What's that?
I don't. It doesn't. It's okay. Nothing.
Boom. Okay, so we got Caroline, Charlotte, Claire, and Sydney. You're in one room. Christian, Lily, Lucy, and Nick in another. Chloe, Greg, Josh, and Kat in yet another. And here we go. Okay, you should see. You see a little link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and follow that again. Spend a few minutes. Okay, you're gone. That's good. Okay. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye, Chloe. Bye, Lily. Bye, Charlotte. There goes Chloe. No, Chloe's still here. Charlotte's still here. Chloe, Charlotte, just click on the link. There you go. Chloe, click on the link that says join breakout room. Chloe, you're still here. There you go. Watch out, kitty.